Hi, I'm Kira Buckland, and I'm the English voice of Jolene Cujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. I think one of the things that really appealed to me about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is that it's bizarre. I've always been someone who kind of does my own thing, doesn't really follow the crowd, and so just something very weird appealed to me, I guess. And I love the characters. I love how it just like makes you feel so many different things. You look at it at first glance and you think, oh, it's an action series with a lot of, characters beating each other up and stuff like that. But there's a lot of sad moments. There's a lot of happy moments. There's just so many different things. It really takes you through an entire emotional roller coaster as a viewer or reader. I could not believe it. I had the email open on my phone and I had to reread it like 50 times. And I still, it's just that moment of shock where it's like, no, this isn't real. This isn't happening. There's no way. I mean, obviously I had sent off my audition and just tried to make peace with the fact that, okay, this is going to be it or it's not going to be it. I'll get it or I won't get it. And I did my best and there's nothing more I can do. It's out of my hands and into the universe. And, when I got the email from the studio, I was just like, no, this can't be like it. I think it took I don't know, like a whole day to fully set in. And then I just like started crying. And, even then it's like, okay, but am I going to do a good enough job? Like, it's like until it was actually released, it still didn't feel real to me. Absolutely. I feel like a lot of the times with projects I work on, I either only know like a little bit about the show going in or nothing at all sometimes because sometimes we dub things simultaneously to where, maybe the project isn't even out in Japanese yet. But with JoJo, I had spent 8 years just being so heavily into this series and watching and reading it and, helping run events for it at cons, all this kinds of stuff. And so JoJo felt very much like a part of me in a way. So I think that just like knowing so much about it and so much about the characters going in really helped. It helped obviously that I knew who Jotaro was. I knew about Jolene's relationship with her father and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just felt like it just helped me get a bigger picture overall of the series and make really conscious choices for what I wanted to do with the character. I think it's important. Something that I did before I even auditioned for the character was I went and studied Matt Mercer's performance again in part three because I wanted to bring some elements of what he did as Jotaro into my performance or my audition at the time as Jolene, especially with like the ora 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 and all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, I want to show that she's his daughter, even if he wasn't around too much in her life early on, that, she does kind of take after him in a sense. So, I kind of used building blocks of that to inform my performance. And I try to like show those moments where she has those elements come through that are just kind of like Jotaro was around that age. I think Jolene is Jolene definitely has traits that one can look up to. I think with any character in general, it's more interesting if there's aspects of the characters that are maybe a little more flawed or a little more human. So I just love that I feel like she is a very well rounded character. And I definitely look up to her strength and resilience. I think Jolene there's something very likable about her. I think she has this energy that sort of draws people into her, not just in the sense that, oh, other stand users are going to be drawn to stand users, but I think some of the other people who are in the prison just see something about Jolene that they are instantly like, oh, I need to be on this person's side. I need to fight with her. I think it shows that she's willing to put her own immediate goals and desires aside to go with what's the better option in the long run. You see that despite her initial kind of troubled relationship with her father, she wants to do everything that she can to save him. She cares about the others in the prison. She cares about Emporio. She cares about Hermes. I think it's just like something, it says a lot about her that she is willing to go back in rather than take the immediate obvious choice to escape. I actually do a lot of JoJo-esque fashion choices. I've always had sort of an eccentric style. My biggest creative inspiration is David Bowie, so you can see kind of how where that leads me. And I've actually even dressed up as JoJo characters before, so I like to think that I do not shy away from embodying the JoJo aesthetic. Yes, so my thing is stars, specifically pink stars, and that's been a thing ever since I was young. I remember when I was 13, for example, before I knew anything about JoJo's or was even into anime, I thought, oh, if I ever get a tattoo someday, it's going to be a pink star. So that's one of the reasons when I got into JoJo and found out about the Joestar birthmark, it felt like destiny to to get that eventually. So yeah, I would say like my favorite color is pink. My entire branding and aesthetic has to do with stars. It would be a song called Star by David Bowie. It's a very underrated song from the Ziggy Stardust album. And I love David Bowie. I think it would be a perfect choice. I think it's just really interesting the idea of having a stand that can turn any liquid substance into coffee because people when they first hear it they underestimate it. It's kind of like what Dio said about the stand Survivor. It's even a stand that seems weak or seems like it would have a very limited or specific use, it can actually be terrifying. I mean, the idea that you could turn your opponent's blood into hot coffee if you wanted to. Like it could be very powerful depending on how it was used, but yes, it could be used so I can drink coffee. So I think that's kind of where I've stayed with it. I'm not sure in terms of the specific stats like power and range and precision and all that, but I'd have to think about that more. Yes, I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure so much, and I really appreciate everyone watching and supporting Stone Ocean. And it means so much to me to be able to embody the role of Jolene in English. This was my literal biggest dream for my entire career, and I'm so glad it came true. I still wake up some days and I can't believe that it happened. So I really appreciate everyone who's come along on this journey and stuck along with me for this ride.